Do you think men's mental health is spoke about enough?
Definitely not. I think the last few years we're getting better for sure. Um, but I think there's, as with many things, people are making a really good concerted effort to talk about it now, but there's a huge amount left that we can be doing. I think it's something that a lot of people still feel very, very uncomfortable about. And I
Yeah.
think it's definitely something that you see more often in older generations of men, is they kind of possibly to do with upbringing, to do with kind of the society that they grew up in and their friendship groups, but just that inability for themselves to talk about men's mental health means that the topic in general just doesn't really get spoken about enough.
Yeah, of course. How would you say that you manage your mental health?
So a lot of things, I think. Um, so I definitely struggle with my mental health, and I think I realized that around kind of 16, yeah, about 16 years of age. And what was the most important thing for me was taking that first step to actually just go to the doctors. I think there's some fantastic things that we can do on our own. There's some fantastic kind of well-being resources out there, and mindfulness and breathing techniques and all things like this, which are fantastic. But I think the number one most important thing to do is, if you are worried about your mental health, is just to go to a doctor. They're going to have the best kind of view on what is best for you. So yeah, first of all, the most important thing is that I take medication, which, and I've been taking kind of medication for my mental health for about 4 or 5 years now, and I can honestly say it's been life changing. Like it's the single most important thing in kind of my journey of looking after my mental health. But outside that, I think I've really kind of challenged myself to get out of my comfort zone and kind of force myself to talk to other people about it. And that's been a massive help, is bringing up those tough conversations, especially with male friends and male colleagues, because women are a massive generalization, but are a lot better at talking about their feelings. So kind of pushing myself out of my comfort zone and forcing myself to talk about it has been really therapeutic, because you all of a sudden realize that it's not just you that deals with those issues, and you realize that, someone that you've been sat next to at work for 2 years, you never would have thought has exactly the same issue, and you guys can, brainstorm and tell each other similarly to this, kind of what helped them, what might help you, and just brainstorm different ideas together, essentially. So yeah, I think those really are the main things: is getting professional help, um, making sure that I kind of talk to my male friends and just my friends in general about it, and making sure I talk to just everyone around me about it, because I know it's kind of like a cheesy gimmick, but like, a problem shared is genuinely a problem halved. And it just takes a lot of weight off your back when you first hear that other person sort of say, "Oh, I went through something really similar. This is kind of how I dealt with it." So getting professional help and communicating, pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, are two massive things that I've done that have helped me hugely.
Yeah, no, definitely. What advice would you give to someone who say he's scared to go find professional help? What does a scared to kind of reach out? What advice would you give them?
So I think the advice I'd give is, nothing bad can come from it. People nowadays, I think, are incredibly open to hearing about issues, and people, for the absolute most part, the huge majority of people, are just good people that care about you. So whether you feel like you're going to be embarrassed, whether you feel like people are going to judge you, it just isn't going to happen. And I think that would be my advice, is, it happens to all of us. Physical illnesses happen to all of us. Mental illnesses will happen to most of us. Um, there's only so much you can do on your own. So taking that step will just make your life so much more livable. You'll be so much happier that you did it. And it might be a little bit of kind of pushing yourself out of your comfort zone But it could not be more worth it, I would say.